very good, and they're worthy of being in the top 25.
They score 82 points a game. Best in the Mountain West, top 20 in the country in scoring. This Nevada team second best in the league in field goal defense. Ball tossed, tapped back by the Wolfpack. Nevada ball as we are underway.
When we talked about in the open, I think you look at the two guards for New Mexico, House and Mashburn Jr., but for Nevada, you've got to look at, obviously, Will Baker knocking down the three-point jump shot, and then Jared Lucas, the guard.
Baker is 7-footer. Hits from 34% from outside. The ball flies around for the Lobos. Josiah Olick gets it in the post, coming off a monster rebound game. Denied. Mashburn off the fake. Alone two on True. Jared Lucas snaps it off to Baker, off the up fake. Deep three. And Lucas hits heel. Tracked down by the Wolfpack and Darian Williams. Baker screaming for it to the post. Rattles it in.
That's going to be the game inside the game with Baker, because Udeze is the big guy inside, and you have Alec in there too. He's going to pull him out. That time he was able to, on the missed shot, get back in and reestablish himself on the low block.
Jalen House swish.
He's got a lot of swag, doesn't he, John? You know, he ranting and raving against San Diego State. He goes in there, he almost wants the fans to be against him.
Oh, what a seal in the high-low. And the 7-footer, Baker able to feed Blackshear, the 6'6" point guard.
And Baker coming into this game really ready to go and show his worth. I mean, this is a guy that was a 5-star recruit, close to a 5-star recruit, went to Texas. See a nice move by Alec in the lane, but he's accounted for all the points so far. 2 with outside shots, and then the other one with an assist.
Nevada seeks response. Trey Coleman. Oh, again inside. As soon as Blackshear had that spot, he had the bucket.
I tell you, they're getting good positions. The inside game is really strong from Nevada. I mean, they're not a team that shoots the three-point jump shot very much. Shoot 10th fewest in the country. I mean, so as Steve Alford told us, this is not me telling them no. It's just they're finding better shots inside.
Mashburn contested, and you talked about his mid-range game in the open. He is an elite mid-range shooter.
He really is, and so what you want to try to do is push him out. If he gets 17 feet near the basket, he's going to score on you. He's lights out.
Well, take us through your keys, the AT&T 5G fast analysis.
I think you really, if you're New Mexico, you got to match the physicality. You got to get inside, and they're doing that early. They have to rebound. Both of these teams want to win the rebounding contest. And for Nevada, transition, getting back, and then also stopping the Lobos from getting those easy buckets on fast breaks.
Lucas 1-on-1 against House. They clear out. Blackshear. Baker. Oh, it's a throwback hook.
He loves that. That's his shot. I mean, he really goes to that. He's worked on it, you can tell. Watching him in practice. He'll shoot a lot of threes because he wants to practice on that, but that inside game is his bread and butter.
Now that high-low look, and a jump ball. Able to get in and tie up Alec.
You get Baker the ball. On the outside, he's great shooting the three, but look at that running left-hand hook shot. At the other end, what a great play by Lucas coming from the weak side and helping out, getting the jump ball.
Elbow J and a foul. Mashburn to the line, hit by Coleman. And Trey Coleman is Nevada's best defender. Jamal Mashburn Jr. is the most electric scorer in the Mountain West. That figures to be a matchup tonight.
And I think, you know, when you look at these two guys out there playing, they play hard. Coleman is really the guy that brings his lunch pail and just works his tail. He does a lot of the dirty work for Nevada.
And Jamal Mashburn Jr., young man who's been at double figures in 41 straight, the second longest active streak in Division I, topped only by Antoine Davis of Detroit, who's done it every game of his career. And has an outside shot of taking down Pistol Pete's all-time scoring record this year.
That's crazy. I mean, you look at Lucas on the other side. He's got 18 straight games in double figures. I mean, there is a lot of talent out here, and I think it's fun to watch both of these coaches and talk to them. Rich Patina was talking today that they always talk about the Mountain West, San Diego State, New Mexico, and he feels like they haven't lived up to that moniker of being one of the best teams year in and year out. They need to do it.
Here's the steal. House on the run, right down the lane, and had it poked out of bounds. There was a sub before that entry. Daniel Foster in, Coleman out with that first foul for Nevada.
That was a bad pass. Actually, it was not. You always got to look where the hand is that you're throwing to and throw it there. That time it was thrown inside. You can't do that around House. He leads the Mountain West in steals.
Ashburn takes Foster off the bounce. Kicks corner, rhythm three. Little flat tap by Baker, loose, shouldered hard near the sideline, out of bounds. Last touch to New Mexico and Udeze.
Matching that physicality, that's what you have to do in this game.
A tight start for Rich Pitino, New Mexico and Nevada. Will Baker has been perfect out of the gate.
Now you want to get the ball inside, but he starts off the game with a three-point jump shot. So far, Nevada, 6 points in the paint, and they're really doing an excellent job at finding the open guy down low. Baker with a sweeping hook shot, a left-handed Kareem.
He is 3 for 3 with 7 points. He also has a couple of dimes early as they've used the high-low game, inverting with him up top and their point guard in Blackshear on the block.
And I think what they're going to have to do, I don't think offense is going to be a problem for Nevada. You and I talked at the break. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with House and Ashburn Jr. because those guys are electric.
Baker double comes, dribbles out. Trying to back in against Udeze. Help lies in wait. Overplay. Freed him up. And he remains perfect. 4 for 4.
Well, he is right now setting up when he's on the low block. He's setting up in the restricted area. That is way too close to the basket. You've got to push him out. They also threw a double team on him. He just shook it off and used the left hand.
Udeze feels the double. Passes out. Showing the shimmy. Leading contested shot. Altered. House offline. Nevada brief 2-on-1. Good recovery by Udeze.
You see Udeze right now. He is in the face of Will Baker, but he will not go up that far.
First misfire for Baker. Rebound Udeze. Udeze. Off down low. Alec Baker.
Well, that was a quick spin move. He had Foster on his back one way and then straight up and used the backboard. You know, if I'm Nevada, I continue to get the ball inside until they show me they can stop it. You always can get the three ball.
Lucas contested twisting shot off. Alec can't handle hot potato. Baker on the spot. Left hand flush.
Tell you what, if it keeps going the way it is right now, he may challenge Pistol Pete's single game record. I mean, he's got 11 points with less than 6 minutes gone in this game.
Nick Davidson, star freshman, ready to sub in for the Wolfpack. Ashburn getting a rare touch these last few possessions. Hard screen by Udeze, contested elbow jumper. Baker good.
Well, that's tough. I mean, Foster was right in his grill, and Ashburn Jr. used the backboard. Somewhere Pete Gillen is happy about that.
Sebastian Forsling, 7-footer, only plays 7 minutes a game, ready to sub in for New Mexico. Donovan Dent joins him lying in wait.
Well, they're going to have to get somebody in there, some height, to make sure they can battle against Baker because he's getting whatever he wants down low.
Lucas, another contested jumper, hits heel. House on the trot. Crossover and shake on Foster. Ashburn. Opposite. Alec giving the three. Taking this.
He had Udeze down low with this man on his back, and they got to get him the ball down there so he can shrink that defense.
Alec tumbles on the floor. Tie up and a jump. Arrow with the Wolfpack.
plays in one. You see a long rebound, Foster tipping it out, and a beautiful look by Williams right back inside. But this one right here, Mashburn creating on his own. Good defense by Nevada, but it was right on line, a little backboard jump shot. It's fun to watch Mashburn Jr. and House work together. They take a lot of shots, but they should. They do so much, whether it's on offense and defense. Really added Odeze and Alec to this team has been really good for Rich Pitino.
Off entry, Trey Pettigrew, freshman. Nevada hopes can grow into a point guard role. Blackshear contested by Mashburn. Hits it.
That shot by Blackshear is going to be important. He's a big guard. He's 6'6". Mashburn's only 6'2". He can take him down, and that time he just had a little step back, turnaround.
Oh, what a weave, that snake-like movement off the screen to liberate that shot.
You got to guard him. You cannot allow him to have an open shot, inside the three-point line. We talked about this. He is arguably, in my mind, the best mid-range basketball player in the country.
What a cut, what a pass, and another bucket for Baker.
There's been no answer for him. I mean, he's getting the ball and scoring at will. I mean, he's 6 for 7. The only shot he missed was that long three.
Was that on purpose? Shooting at will?
Yeah, yes.
Then into the corner. Johnson brains it down. Javonte Johnson last year led the Lobos 46% from deep. He entered tonight only 24% this season.
Well, you also got so many different pieces to the puzzle. I mean, he is not the mainstay on this team. It's House and it's Mashburn Jr. But as crazy as this sounds, Nevada's getting pretty much everything they want. They're still only, UNM, only up down by 1. This team right now getting inside to the big fella. And then the little guy weaving through traffic. We got a 1-point game here.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Sensodyne, #1 dentist recommended brand for sensitive teeth, and by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Steve Alford through the years, national champion as a player at Indiana. Last season, the Wolfpack toiled at this stage. They did on the year. They only went 13-18, just 6-12 in league play. It was the worst year for the program in 7 years. It was the worst for a Steve Alford team since his head coaching debut with Division III Manchester in 1992.
Well, as I always told coaches when they start, you don't want to win too fast.
Pettigrew following his own block shot, cuts cup bucket.
Well, right now, the inside game of Nevada has been the story. They have 14 points in the paint compared to 4 for the Lobos. But the Lobos are keeping up with it, shooting the outside jump shot.
And they're a foul. That's Daniel Foster.
But when you get it blocked, you know where that ball's going. Beats the big fella out of the way and just takes it straight to the rim.
Now that last foul is a big one. Foster's in because Trey Coleman, their best defender, picked up a foul guarding against Mashburn. And here's Coleman contesting Mashburn. In and out. Great box and the board for Nevada and their star freshman Nick Davidson.
Forsling needs to make sure he goes and plays that inside game. Good defense closing out and getting the block.
He tipped that ball out of bounds. Forsling with the last touch. And you see Davidson there, the redshirt freshman. In league-only action, he's scoring nearly 11 a game. He's shooting almost 60% from the field. There's a significant family pedigree here in Reno.
He's a really good outside jump shooter, so you knew when that thing airballed that there was something wrong. I mean, he's one of those guys that if he doesn't make a three, either it was really well defended or was blocked.
Darian Williams triggers. He's back in. Foster to the bench. Williams extra pass to Coleman, whose offense has been slight. And he gets a bucket.
That's just too easy. Another point in the paint. Now this is a Nevada team that gets it done inside, but wow, I mean, they are on fire getting that ball into the restricted area and scoring.
KJ Jenkins, electric shooter, wearing 0, top of the key. Udeze can feel the double coming. Spins out of it, baseline. Shot hits heel. Tyler Powell was sprinting down the right side, begging for the ball. Davidson off the up fake. Sets a screen wide open. Williams misses.
You know who's been quiet? The bigs inside for the Lobos have been really quiet. Udeze's got to get some touches along with Alec. They haven't been able to score down low.
Udeze screen. House on a switch has a big. 10 to shoot. Bounce pass. Udeze doubled and fouled.
They average 37 points in the paint. The Lobos do. They have got to make sure they exploit that against the Wolfpack. Get the ball inside. If they don't have it, Udeze and Alec can throw the ball back out for the guys shooting the jump shots.
Entry to Jenkins. Great shooter. Swish. Young man who began his collegiate career at Division II North Georgia. Couldn't see the floor. They redshirted him as a freshman. Now he's one of the best outside shooters in Division I.
This goes to show you work at it. You work at it. You just don't give up. And that's a credit to the young man. People can't tell you if you can play or not. You have to go out and show people.
Davidson falling away. Soft touch, a little too strong.
What I'm impressed with is New Mexico just doesn't get rattled.
Jenkins steps into it. 3-ball.
Just like that, it's tie game. I mean, they are good. They are really good.
And it's oddly the New Mexico score that has sprung this crowd to greater vigor. Hard screen by Davidson. Coleman bounce pass, and Davidson stayed with it.
Beautiful look. And typically you throw that ball high, but Davidson's a really good athlete. He was able to get that bounce pass and take it straight through.
Donovan Den, a probing dribble. Pass into the corner, just tracked down by Jenkins. House air ball caught by Udeze. Off the up fake, shot no. Controlled by Alec. Extra pass, House into it. Off the iron, rebound of Adam. Pettigrew hounded by House. Muscles it across. Explodes to the rim, misses. House saw Dent cutting. Acrobatic finish.
Say whatever you want about House. He is fearless. He's 6 foot. He shoots a lot of shots, but he gets his team going. He got that ball out in transition after Udeze got the ball to him. Beautiful pass for an easy layup.
Davidson screens for Pettigrew. Ugly miss. Udeze saves it. No! He plays it to Nevada! And a wide open miss for Darian Williams.
Fast he gets in that front court. And they're going to call foul on Williams. But watch House. He gets the ball out so quick in fast break action. And here you see Davidson for the easy 2. Another point in the paint. And a beautiful drive and pass by House.
The latest in the national landscape in the AP poll, New Mexico rejoined the ranks at the 25th spot. In the net rankings, the Mountain West has 5 teams in the top 35, positioned well to have multiple entrants for the NCAA tournament.
Well, what's great about the league this year is there's no bottom feeders. I mean, Tim Miles has done an excellent job at San Jose State, so now you can't cannibalize each other in conference play. But if you have a bad net and the team goes in there and loses, it really can tear it up. So this year that's not happening. That's why their net is so high.
Udeze, mid-lane, in and out, tipped out by Alec. No Meshburn, he's on the bench. House to the basket, first lead for New Mexico tonight.
Smart play by Alec, getting that ball back out. He had 18 rebounds in their last outing, but he and Udeze have not done much offensively, but once they get actively involved in the game, it's going to be hard to really keep a handle on House.
Blackshear falling away. Got it.
Might have gotten away with a foul. He's so big, he's taller than both Mashburn and House. He's able to step away at that 6'6" frame.
Mashburn lines it away, ready to come back in. Udeze explodes down the lane. Is it ripped away by Baker?
Frustration play by Udeze.
Darian Williams thought about the shot. Jared Lucas, who's been a little quiet. Manny up fakes and he duped Jenkins a foul.
Talk about guards in this league. Here's one of the best. He's 6 foot and he's fearless at the other end. I like that Blackshear's using his 6 foot 6 inch frame to take House down in the paint and then step back.
Now, Steve, Nevada is one of the best in the country at not only getting to the free throw line, but converting at the free throw line. These two teams get to the line a lot. This is just the second visit between the two squads.
Well, they make, and that's the key. You know, you can get to the line a lot, but they're a really good free throw shooting team leading the Mountain West. But the last 4 games, they haven't been getting to the free throw line as much. And I think that's, you know, when you talk to Coach Alfred, said we got to be physical, we got to match that physicality. That's what he's talking about, getting to the free throw line.
Now, the year they average about 22 free throw attempts a game. There's another miss. And it's been 20 total in the last 4 games combined.
And they're still at 22. That just tells you how physical they are when they get in that paint.
And Mashburn free up top. Defender tumbles, contested, tipped by Baker, taken away by Nevada.
Dakota called a flop call on Lucas there.
Transition 3 with some contact. Lucas thought he was hit. Donovan Dent behind the back move down the lane. Nice.
Tell you, he really impresses me. He's the guy that made the pass in the Boise State game to win it. Beautiful pass by the freshman. He's come in. He's probably the best passer on their team.
Baker into the corner. Lucas loads, misses. Long board Baker. And he coughs it up. Tracked down by Coleman. Extra bounce pass off the up fake. Williams got Alec in the air. He's fouled.
It's important to get out in transition, and that's what Steve Alford said. Listen, guys, we got to stop their transition offense. They cannot score buckets like that. Donovan Dent taking it to the basket. You know, these little guys are just getting strong to the hoop.
Williams, an 81% free throw shooter. 4 of the 5 starters for Nevada are 80% plus. As a team, they're just under 80%, best in the Mountain West, 7th best in the country.
And those numbers are just eye-popping. 7th in Division I.
Back end good. Even again at 29.
You would think a team coached by Steve Alford is one of the best free throw shooters in college basketball history. You would think that his team would be pretty good getting to the charity stripe.
Then to House. Blackshear overplayed. House misses. And Williams wanted it more. Ripped it away from the top rebounder of the Mountain West.
He stuck in there, and that was actually a 1-2 play. He just wanted that ball more.
And a foul. Mashburn getting too handsy on Jared Lucas.
It's Mashburn's first foul. But Lucas is trying to find his way right now. You know, he hasn't really done it on the offensive side. He's 0 for 5 from the field. But when you look at the stats, he's 0 for 4 from three-point land. When you are not scoring the ball, get inside, get to the free throw line. Don't rely on trying to get your jumper back by shooting threes.
Baker, who's gone a little quiet after owning the early stage of the game. Baker wants it, gets fed right under the cylinder.
Tell you, Darian Williams, what a beautiful pass inside. Yes, Baker's going to get the applause for the slam dunk, but that was a beautiful feed into the post by Williams.
He's got 15 points. Mashburn contested by Baker, hand in his face.
You know what? See, Nevada cannot stop the Lobos, and right now, the Lobos can't stop the Wolfpack. You see his beautiful drive. He's acting like he's going straight to the basket. The defender comes over to him, and a pass to Baker, and it was right to his left hand, so he could take it and dunk it.
Now Blackshear is limping noticeably. They pause play and allowed a sub. Blackshear is going to stay in.
Well, I looked at Coach Neal and Coach Alford didn't even look at him. He said, hey, you're in. You're not coming out.
With a significant grimace. Feeds Baker. Oh, the shovel to Coleman. Explodes.
Well, Williams has a beautiful knack for finding the open area. And that's Baker with his 3rd assist to go along with 15 points.
You can feel the cresting energy. Ashburn hounded by defenders. Alec. Dese with fury. There's some anger building up there.
He might have heard us talking about the 1-2 points. That last dunk was a 1-2 basket. He really took it strong.
Oh, nice spin move into a double. Perimeter passing. Baker pointing, saying get it to Coleman. Baker bumping with Alec. And Udeze takes it away.
Took a little too deep. Should have just shot the ball when he had about 7 feet from the basket.
Mashburn transition triple.
You know, you can't rest. You cannot rest. You know, we talk about, that was a transition bucket. Good defense off a turnover. Comes down and semi-fast break.
Baker sealed. Lucas up fake. Free throw line jumper.
Well, that was important for the Wolfpack. Got to get him going. Lucas, he's their bread and butter. He's the straw that stirs their drink. And able to get that mid-range shot to go down was great.
Tuck it off. And we'll step aside. One-point game, 36-35. New Mexico with the lead. Coming up, AT&T at the half, as they'll get you caught up on all the action around the world in college basketball. The Mountain West eyes on this matchup tonight. These are two teams embroiled in a 4-way tie for second place, a league that is crowded at the top. San Diego State has 1 loss and remains in the catbird seat. The lone blemish came at the hands of New Mexico, a team that has made noise by spoiling long home court win streaks.
And yes, and this is the second, this will be the 3rd long home court win streak they're trying to break. You know, St. Mary's, San Diego State, and now Nevada.
Blackshear. Coleman draws the foul. Count it, and 1. That's going to be number 2 on Jamal Mashburn.
Well, he just got the edge on Mashburn and was able to go straight to the basket. Mashburn's got to get over, take an extra step, lateral step, stop him pushing back to the middle.
So what do you do with Mashburn with 2:15 to go until the break?
You know, John, I'm a firm believer that a senior, upperclassman, you know, you got 2 minutes left, you have to play smart. And I would leave him in. You just don't want to lose the edge right now they have. He's a junior. He should be able to know better. There's 2 minutes left. And it's a close game. Keep him in the game.
He's got the ball off the fake, loses handle to Allen. Tries to slip through, wave it off, travel, took an extra stride.
I think he tried to get away with a fake Euro, but that wasn't. Mashburn Jr. got in the lane and really didn't know what to do. Alec took it over, worried about the shot clock. That's why you don't want the bigs playing with the ball.
Under 2 minutes. What do you want to see in these last few possessions?
Well, I want to see Nevada continue to get the ball inside. You got Davidson in there right now. They're giving Baker a rest. Try to get some more points in the paint because it's been working for you. If you're New Mexico, I think the Lobos got to continue trying to get the bigs involved in the game.
Off Alec's hands, out of bounds, got him in the face. Vern Harris, outstanding official, putting the palm to his forehead.
They're letting them play. You know, the physicality, this is the Mountain West. They're going to let them play. I think it was a good no call.
Lob entry. Blackshear. Bounce to Coleman, the overplay, rolls off the front lip. Coleman wins it. Blackshear opposite Lucas, baseline cut. Oh, nice fake. He got them all, and he misses the bunny. Coleman with the reset. Davidson extra pass. Lucas fake, 3-ball. Yeah! Aggressive tie-up and takeaway. Power play for Nevada. No look. Lucas again. Udeze wins it. 1 minute. Each team has the use it or lose it.
That would have been a backbreaker for the Lobos if he would have knocked that down.
Ashburn off the bounce. Beat Davidson. Alec tips it out of bounds. And it's New Mexico ball.
I think they might look at that. Rich Pitino's getting the timeout right now, getting his guys together.
We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 41-36 Nevada. 41-36, Nevada the lead, 43 seconds to go. Call on the floor is New Mexico ball. Out of a Lobos timeout, 19 to shoot. Jamal Mashburn plays with 2 fouls.
Well, I think right now, with 43 seconds left, Nevada has got to play defense without fouling. Try to keep House and Mashburn Jr. in front of you. If I'm the Lobos, I try to get the ball inside to Udeze. See if you can get him involved. If you have a double team, kick it back out for an open jump shot.
Udeze's scoring is strong. He's top 5 in the Mountain West, even though he's 3rd best on his explosive team. House pounded and fouled by Blackshear.
I'll tell you, Udeze was wide open behind the defense. They have to start looking for him. Williams is undersized guarding him, but Udeze was behind the defense wide open. You got to keep an eye out for him inside.
20 to shoot.
14-second differential on the shot clock.
House, tip ball, Alec. Oh, how did he catch it? Timeout, Nevada.
That's exactly what you should do. Get the ball inside. And I love Alec with his, stick him on his hands.
We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. .7 seconds. 3-point affair. Offense has dominated on each side in this first half.
That'll be interesting what Steve Alford will draw up on this. I think what they'll do is what they've done all first half long. Try to get the ball inside. They have 26 points in the paint compared to 14 for the Lobos. And you see New Mexico now, a little full court pressure.
Jared Lucas to trigger.
And this pressure is just to make it run a little clock, bringing the ball up court. Don't make it easy for the Wolfpack.
Darian Williams over midcourt. Blackshear who runs point. Aggressive defense from Javante Johnson, a foul. There are fouls to give, so you can do that without free throw concern.
It's a smart deal. There's 15 seconds left. Lots of time. And what you want to try to do in this situation is when it hits 10 seconds, you start making your move. With 10 seconds, you have time to really run a play and get somebody open. Maybe a dribble drive. And if there's a pick and switch, look inside the Baker.
Blackshear defender fell down, and Blackshear gets the bucket. Johnson lost his footing. 3 seconds. House loses the ball. The red light is on, and Nevada leads by 5 in the break. That's the end of the first half. 43-38, Nevada on top of New Mexico. After the break, we'll send you to Evan and the gang in New York. It's AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. There was a baby race on the floor while we were away, and everybody won. It's a 5-point affair in Reno as we are at halftime. John Sadak and the former North Carolina State and Xavier star in Steve Wolf. Your big takeaways from that first?
Well, my college coach would have said the defense was something that goes around the yard. There was not a whole lot of defense, a lot of good offense. New Mexico shooting with House and Mashburn Jr. Nevada getting the ball in the paint, 28 points in the paint. And the guy that started it off was Will Baker. They got him going early, knocked down the first shot from three-point range, and then they just fed him in the post. Little Kareem Abdul-Jabbar left-handed hook. At the other end, he was playing awesome defense and really bottling up Odeze. But for the Lobos, Jamal Mashburn Jr., I mean, he's unstoppable. He had two different players. He got in foul trouble. Gets in the lane. He is just so sweet inside. We talked about it, inside 17 feet. I mean, he is lights out.
The stats from the first. Nevada closed the first half on a 10-2 run. What numbers leap to you?
The first one, I mean, points in the paint are just unbelievable. I mean, they're doubled up Nevada. Nevada is a team that gives you 37 points in the paint themselves. I think that's going to have to change in the second half. You got two great coaches. They're going to come out, and I think that figure out the strategy of stopping the inside game of Nevada, and then for Nevada, making sure they stop that transition buckets by House and by Mashburn Jr.
We have at least another 20 minutes of play to go in Reno. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the start of the second. Nevada by 5 at the break. Couple of minutes until the second half gets underway in Reno. Nevada a 43-38 lead against the 25th ranked Lobos. These same Lobos back at it Friday night. They'll take on Air Force at 10 Eastern right here on CBS Sports Network. What a contrast in style. Joe Scott's Falcons, they love to slow it down. They maximize every possession, a grinded out game. While Richard Pitino's team, we've seen it tonight, can fly up and down the floor.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job. I mean, they've had the best start in 45 years as you look at the standings. And as he said to us, I mean, we got to get back up there and be the class of the Mountain West, like people have said for many years. I mean, it's been San Diego State and New Mexico consistently, but now they're back up there. And you look at that four-way tie for number 2.
Each of the top 5 teams in the top 35 in the net. In terms of the point production, this is where it comes from Nevada on the year, their top 3, and the performances respectively tonight.
I think that I love what Blackshear's doing. A lot of them are doing it in the paint. Lucas is doing it on the outside. He only has 5. Blackshear's been able to get in that paint and have that step back jump shot. Same with Baker. Now you look at the other end of it. Mashburn Jr. has been playing outstanding. He's getting whatever he wants. The guy that I think they need to get going is Udeze. I mean, he's got to get some touches on the low block along with Allen.
Udeze, top 5 in the league in scoring. Steve Alford's team 9-0 in this building. It's been a touch up and down of late. They have won 7 of 9. They are in that 4-way tie for second, but have lost 2 of 3 entering this game. Got humbled at Boise State last time out. The Lobos saw Boise State in Albuquerque and triumphed in a war of a game in overtime.
Well, and you look at this Nevada team, and Steve Alford, he's 6-0 against the Lobos. He's also, you know, when they lose a game and they come back, they're pretty much unbeatable. They're 4-0 this year when they've lost a game and come back.
The average margin of victory in those 4 affairs at just about 9 points per. Fairly convincing triumphs.
But it'll be interesting. This is what's great about they've both been Coach of the Years in previous conferences. Obviously, Alford has done it in Mountain West. But what changes will they make? You know, and I think that's going to be important here the second half. The game's too close to call right now.
The Lobos have it. Mashburn, hand in his face from Coleman. Contested elbow jumper, rims in.
I'll tell you what, he's got a sweet shot. I mean, just laid on that rim and rolled over. And you know, Coleman was right in his face.
Coleman tosses down the wing. Williams. Blackshear right back to Williams. Contested jumper. The hesitant 3 miss. Rebound to the Lobos and Javante Johnson.
Well, they did have Baker open. He had Alec on his backside, so they could have gotten the ball to him, and they decided to go for the 3 ball.
House feeds Udeze. Try to wrap around, instead over top corner. And Johnson misses, weak side Baker. Lobos were efficient, 4 of 8 from 3. That helped mitigate some of the interior play. Oh, nice crossover. Blackshear misses. Bounce to Mashburn, hard undercut. Mashburn for 3, got it.
No answer right now. I mean, this kid is in fuego. He gets anywhere near the offensive scoring area, and it's going up.
Well, Nevada got a 3 from Baker right at the start of the game. Since then, 1 for its last 12.
So you know what that says to me? Go back inside. Go back inside.
3-ball Williams miss.
It's not going down. And right now, you lose that lead by shooting that 3-ball. You've got to get the ball in the paint.
Lob a little too long for Udeze. Lobo ball.
Well, Mashburn is just really unstoppable. It was a tough pass by House. He lost his dribble, and he was trying to pass it, so he tapped it to him and really took out the defender with that undercut.
Mashburn springs free. Oh, he paused to Duke Coleman, and he draws the foul. They'll glide back to the line. Foul goes to Darian Williams.
Well, everybody is looking to get a hand's worth of help on Mashburn. And that time, although Coleman was guarding him man-to-man, he got help from Williams, and Williams got the foul.
So now Mashburn at the line, top 10 of the league, 78%. His lineage direct in familial fashion with his head coach Richard Pitino. His dad, Jamal Mashburn Sr., played for Rick Pitino, SEC Player of the Year 1993, consensus first-team All-American, then a dozen years in the league.
I actually think Mashburn Jr. coming here to New Mexico was really a good indictment on Rich Pitino, saying, hey, this guy knows how to coach, and I think it's really helped his recruiting, Richard Pitino's recruiting in New Mexico.
Tip ball. Alec giving up the body. Mashburn left to right crossover, cuts basket. Oh, Coleman! And he gives it right away to House. And House lost it off his foot. And he wins it back from Baker and squirts free. Nevada. Lucas trying to back in. Caught out by Dent. Loop around Williams. Alec denies, and a foul.
Don't tell me these two teams don't want this game. Beautiful block in the lane by Coleman, but then he has a misstep throwing it out of there. You see Coleman coming over, just a lot taller, was able to switch his defensive hand to his right hand to block that shot.
Nevada hasn't scored since the break. A 7-0 surge by New Mexico to begin the second. Lucas contested shot somehow goes down, and he's begging for a foul.
Well, both teams are begging for fouls right now. It is physical. You know, you saw Alec on that last play. Great defensive play on Baker, and then diving for the loose ball. A lot of hustle points right now for both sides.
Last foul went to Dent, who's got the ball. Not a great pass to Mashburn. Lucas trying to smother off a couple of jab steps. The 3-ball short, his first miss from deep.
That's really not his game. You know, his game is inside. As you look at Lucas deciding to put the 3-ball away and just took House to the bucket. Pull-up jump shot. Both teams really being physical.
Blackshear. And one.
Well, you always say if you can't get the ball in the post with a pass, take it with a dribble. And that's exactly what Blackshear did. We've talked about his size. It's a problem right now for the guards because he's a lot bigger than them. And that time Dent really couldn't do anything to stop him.
Young man who had a triple-double earlier this year, the first for the program since 1979, misses the and one. Foul to Dent, his second. Mashburn physically guarded. Alec had already cut. He's able to track it down. House steps into it. Got it.
So now you bottle up Mashburn Jr. You have everybody having a hand's worth of help in the lane on him, and then it leaves House open. House was open for that 3-point jump shot and nailed it.
Blackshear other end. Dent tried to go over top the screen. Contested runner off. Tip ball, Mashburn.
Good help by Alec in the lane.
Udeze screaming forward, probing dribble. Mashburn hit.
You see the great hustle. House wide open because Williams was over helping out on Mashburn Jr. because they were looking that he'd get the open shot in the paint.
Baseline trigger to come from Donovan Dent. Foul went to Jared Lucas, his first. Lucas fronts here. Lob to Udeze, who has not had many touches.
Well, they have to try to find a way to get him touches. You know, they're driving to the basket doing that, but they're a team that scores 37 points in the paint. They got to get more of those in the second half.
Baker foul! The crowd hasn't had that full throat moment yet. We got a lot of time. Udeze was open. Dead contested shot, rounds it in.
It's a Harlem Globetrotter type shot. A lot of spin on that. Just rolled around the rim and went in.
The Blackshear already showing his cards. Looks like he wanted to try to post. Instead, wide open, Williams misses.
That's his shot, too. There was nobody within 5 feet of him.
Udeze asking for it. Gets fed on the bounce. Spin and line. Beat Williams and one.
Well, you got to give credit to House getting the ball inside. Udeze open. And here you see the follow. The big guy trailing. The Baker is in the house. 3-point game.
52-49, New Mexico, 25th ranked in the land, on top of Nevada. Saturday night, 10 Eastern, a battle for Silver State pride. The Wolfpack meets up with UNLV. Don't miss the tip-off right here on CBS Sports Network. 5 in the top 35 in the net. These are 2 of those teams.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's like we've talked about before. It's nice that you can go play teams that are below you. And if you lose, because it's conference play, you still don't ruin your net. See Coach Richie Pitino. It was great talking to him today. You know, talking about his dad. He's obviously has a lot of his dad's characteristics, and he just wants to win.
Udeze and one free throw is good.
They got to get Udeze the ball. Udeze got to get the ball more. I mean, he's hit 7 double-doubles on this year. He's very capable in the paint. He's a 3rd leading scorer, but you got to give him touches.
Baker spinning to face. Lobo's largest lead of the night. Muscling Alec, falling away. Rim blasted in.
I tell you, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Alec waited on that left hand. He just had his hand up on the left side where Baker was going to shoot. And Baker's 7 foot. He's just able to go up and over him.
Mashburn, who's got 20 for a 5th straight game. Frying hands and a jump ball. It'll be Nevada ball thanks to Blackshear.
What I loved about that with Blackshear, he helped down the lane, he got the jump ball, and immediately knew it was his ball. I mean, that means you're paying attention, and that's really good help in the lane, and that's what we're going to do to shut down Mashburn Jr. You can't guard him with one person right now.
Blackshear with 3 steals tonight. Bounce to Baker. Spinning, missing, weak side, won by Dent.
I tell you, Alec is playing really good defense in there. It's just that he's not as tall as Baker.
Udeze, steamroll, offensive foul. Nick Davidson takes the charge.
Smart play by Davidson. You see the spin move. As soon as he gets in there, you can see he's outside of the restricted area. As soon as he gets the ball, he spins a little bit and goes right into Davidson.
Foul to Udeze, his first. He subs out. Forsling's back in. Udeze's not quite in rhythm tonight.
Forsling's big and strong. I mean, he's almost as big as Baker, but now there's a mismatch down low.
Lost it on the way up, knocked free by the Lobos out of bounds, 14 to shoot. House, after brief respite, comes back in. Mashburn gets a breather.
I don't know if I would switch those guys. I think it'd keep Forsling just to play Baker one-on-one, because when you switch, I mean, he's got a massive size advantage.
Dump right down low to Baker. They knew he was going to get the ball on entry.
Well, Forsling did not challenge him. He didn't push him out of the paint. He didn't push him out of the restricted area. And Baker didn't even fake it. Just took it up.
All even again. Forsling cut. He was open. Nice no look from Dent. And a block. What a recovery. Down low. Out of bounds. And out of ball. Nick Davidson darted in.
He was wide open. It was a beautiful pass by Dent, but a better block by Davidson coming over there and just putting it back. That's a great defensive play by Davidson.
His dad, Kirk, back in the day, played for Nevada, played for Len Stevens, who's now the radio analyst on the other side of the floor. Baker out of the corner. Tipped by Coleman, won by Dent. Headman House. Oh, nice diagonal give, and the flush on the run for the 7-footer Sebastian Forsling.
He ran the court like he wanted the basketball. I think he got a little bit upset when he got his shot blocked. That time he sprinted to recover and got down on the other end. And I don't know how long Richie Pitino is going to keep Mashburn Jr. out of the lineup.
House, coast to coast.
Well, back-to-back plays. It was tied at 53. And I was thinking maybe they'd put Mashburn right back in, but no. They've allowed some of the subs to come in and done a really good job.
Nevada gets it across, and even though 30 seconds dead ball means immediate, they called a timeout. New Mexico opportunistic, and some men off the pine a chance to shine, while House comes to life in the second. Will Baker a chance to catch his breath. New Mexico leads 57-53 as we revisit the AT&T 5G fast analysis.
Now, I'll tell you, it's been all Baker all the time. I mean, he has been very efficient inside. He's scored pretty much at will. He's got 21 points on 10 of 13 shooting. On the other end, you have Mashburn. We talk about it. I mean, he is instant offense. Coming down, doesn't usually shoot a lot of threes, but he's 1 of 2 on this evening. Mashburn now 7 of 12, 20 points. As you look at Baker talking to the trainer.
So he's getting some form of treatment. It looks like maybe they're working on the jersey. Could there be blood on there? Trainer's got gloves on and a towel using a spray.
Pretty physical game. I would say that's a good guess.
And I also wonder, were they maximizing real-time rest? Yeah, calling that timeout, dead ball in 10 seconds means another medium.
Right. Well, Lucas, we haven't said Lucas's name much in this half, but that was a good dribble drive getting to the basket. Lucas, 3 for 10 and 1 for 6 from behind the arc. He has not taken a 3 this half yet, which I think is a smart move.
Now it's obscured by the stanchion there, but we're told with other angle they appear to be working on that left thigh. Athletic trainer Mike Mikowski. Free throw make for Lucas. And there are some star players highly productive on the year on each side that have been a little quiet, that have a lot of time to make their impact.
Well, I think that you look at this game, I mean, it's going to be a close game to the end. Both of these teams physical, very capable, and they're fighting for something. This isn't just a normal game. You know, they want to keep pace with San Diego State, who's the front runner right now in the conference.
Well, Lucas now with 8 points. He subs out. Pettigrew takes his spot. So 10 seconds before dead ball means immediate, and both Lucas and Baker are getting more rest time here.
Yeah, see, what you want to do is maintain. You know, you don't want to get too far down when you have those guys out. Baker's coming back over to the bench.
Nevada's a lot thinner thanks to injury, most prominently to Elon transfer Hunter McIntosh, who figured to be their point guard. He got hurt in the preseason. Forsling on the lob, couldn't catch it clean, and we have a timeout on the floor. We have a tight one in Reno, a 2-point affair. Lobos have had some road success this year, including twice snapping long home winning streaks. On the last of November at St. Mary's, took down the Gales' home win streak at 23 games. And then the perennial power in this league, perhaps the toughest place to play, Viejas Arena. They took down the Aztecs, then 23rd in the country, just a week and a half ago.
Both of those wins are big-time wins. I mean, St. Mary's is an NCAA team, and they are very, very good. And obviously, San Diego State front runner. They take them down at Viejas, and that's tough.
Well, the Lobos are one of 4 teams to have multiple top 30 net road wins. It's Alabama, Kansas State, TCU, and New Mexico.
Well, they were the last undefeated team in the country until Fresno knocked them off.
Oh, nice cut feed. Pettigrew denied. Alec able to recover. House threads the needle. Udeze. The Lobos had started 14-0. Alec was open. House had his back turned on the spin. Jenkins floater.
Tell you what, these guards are just making mincemeat of the Nevada offense or defense, getting in the lane, runners, pulling up jump shots. The inside game has been very quiet. I mean, Alec has not. He's got 6 points. You got Udeze, who's got 5 points.
Williams connects, 2-point affair. And a make for Nevada neutralizes the Lobos' best weapon. When they get out and run, they have outscored Nevada tonight, fast break 14-2.
And that's one of the things Steve Alford said. You gotta get back. You cannot let them have transition buckets.
Nice up fake, contested jumper off. Blackshear asking for it. Williams feeds him. He wants Mashburn. Alec lying in wait to get help.
Williams has got to get away from him. Get away from him so he doesn't have a double team.
Off opposite, Pettigrew. Hang.
That's a smart play by Pettigrew. Came right in the lane, and a lot of guys will take it all the way to the basket. But he pulls up, little jump stop, and uses a backboard. That's just a very good move in traffic.
House hammered.
We talk about these guards for the Lobos. Good pump fake, gets straight to the basket. Blackshear couldn't do anything about it. And there's Pettigrew. Watch him stop. Jump stop, uses a backboard. He lets Dent go straight into the stands. Good pump fake.
Foul to Blackshear, his second. Dent, the only player with more than 2 fouls. He's got 3. Screen Udeze. Mashburn misses. And there was more will for Williams, who ripped that ball clean.
I like him. He's a heck of a rebounder. You look up and all of a sudden he's got 7 or 8 rebounds. He's just very strong and undersized, but he gets to the boards.
What a size mismatch here. Perimeter passing. Snap it down low. Davidson. Rainbow miss. Spin. Point blank miss for Williams. Udeze over the back. Davidson. That'll be his second.
You gotta love Williams. I mean, he is playing his tail off. He's got 10 rebounds. Tough break on that one. He had an easy opportunity right at the bucket and just couldn't get it done.
Udeze screens. Mashburn the switch. Davidson altered it. Williams headman. Pettigrew wants it opposite. Blackshear has Jenkins fouled. His second.
Once again, Williams with the rebound and getting it out quick. You can either get it out with a pass or a dribble. Williams right then took the rebound and started the fast break.
Blackshear, 2 shots.
Now keep in mind, that free throw gives Nevada its first lead since the 15:40 mark. They have played most of the last 3.5 to 4 minutes without Will Baker, who just now subs back in.
Yeah, and I think that you find out what's working. The ball is moving really well right now for Nevada. Around the perimeter, getting it out in transition. Let's see if they can continue that with Baker in the game.
He had sat for nearly 4 minutes.
Uh-oh. Sounds like a baby race at halftime. The crowd's into it.
Blackshear bumped House. That's a foul. That's going to be his third.
As you look at Blackshear, I just think when you look at House, he's just fearless. I mean, he has no fear when he gets in amongst those trees. Blackshear, a lot bigger than House. Got 4 or 5 inches on him, and he still takes it right at him.
Now Blackshear gets a blow. Coleman fronts. He had subbed in for him. Udeze screens. House zigzagging. Wrap around Udeze. And one.
I tell you, House is not scoring a lot. I mean, he's got 10 points. But the kid's got 8 assists and 6 rebounds. And what a beautiful bounce pass to Udeze. Udeze has good hands, too. And that winning basket against Boise State, he was able to get Dem's pass, grab it, take it up, put it in quickly. So you got to give credit to the big fella.
Misses the and one. Foul to Coleman, his second. But keep in mind, 7 on Nevada. Both of these teams on the year get to the line a ton. That has not had a major impact in the game to this point. Baker trying to get free. Alec all over it. What a battle.
There are 4 guys in the paint trying to keep Baker from scoring. And they can't. 23 points for the big fella. And literally all 4 of the 5 jerseys were in the paint trying to get a hand worth of help over to try to stop Baker. They just couldn't do it.
House on high. 3 ball.
I'll tell you, House is right in front of us, and he looks at the crowd and he tells them to calm down. Calm down.
What did Richard Pitino say after the win against San Diego State? And Viejas, he akined him to a pro wrestling character, just loving the heel.
Yeah. And he was like, don't do it, don't do it. But he saw how the energy really propelled his teammates. So I think you look at him, he's fearless.
He just told a fan courtside, I got you. Udeze wants it, armbarred by Baker. Mashburn stepping back over Coleman. Yes.
So who do you double? What do you do? These guys play so well off of each other. And the other 3 guys in the court are okay with it because they can, produce.
Blackshear and Lucas ready to sub back in. Pettigrew, Baker screen, denies it. Coleman, aggressive drive, great bounce, Baker left hand flush. That's a career high 25 for Will Baker.
And once again, set up by the good dribble drive and dish.
Nice thread, backdoor House, bumped, and he goes to the line.
Well, Baker has been the show. Beautiful pass in the lane. Is able to flush it. Too many guys over there. Give me another one. 25 points for Baker. And a 1-point lead, New Mexico.
Let's take a look at our AT&T game summary. What do you see?
Well, obviously what's highlighted is points in the paint for Nevada. But, the other one, you look at the fast break points. Fast break points for New Mexico. They're getting it out and they're scoring. And I think that's going to continue. But I don't know if I felt like House and Mashburn would go off like this. I mean, they're very, very tough. But they've been able to be neutralized by the scoring of Baker. Baker's able to run the break, and they're looking for him. They got to continue doing that. He's got so many points down low, and there's 4 guys right there trying to stop him, and they can't. But he's having a heck of a game. Obviously a career game, 25 points. got 3 assists and 3 rebounds, but House and Mashburn, man, they're hard to beat.
Well, that's House's first free throw attempt of the game to make. He has the 2nd most free throw attempts in the Mountain West. This is his first journey tonight.
And you know what? It's been a physical game, but free throw shooting hasn't been what I thought it would be. I thought that could be a key to the game, especially for Nevada, because they get there so many times.
Blackshear back, Lucas as well. Coleman off a Baker screen. Weak side, Lucas, tip to House.
I thought Lucas could have grabbed that and put it back in. He tried to tip it and really was off balance.
Mashburn doubled, kick out House, 3-ball off.
See, when you got a 3-point lead like this is when you try to maybe go inside to the big guys. Put the 3-ball away. You've gotten the lead back after Nevada came and took it away from you. Now try to get the ball in the post.
Coleman shaping up, gets fed. Off the fake, thought about a wraparound, and he traveled.
Well, that was all because of House, because Coleman was driving the lane. He saw Williams open. He was going to pass to Williams. House came over and jumped there. And so Coleman had to eat it. They called it travel. It's good. Good call.
Well, here come the Lobos. Boasting 3 of the top 5 scorers in the Mountain West. Mashburn, one of them. Udeze, another. And it's knocked free. Williams wins it. Lucas, Baker screen. And a trip and a foul. That's going to go on House.
You know what? When you get the ball as a big man on the low block, when the double king comes, you have to know where the open guy is. There's 2 guys guarding you. Somebody's open. That was just too slow in reacting. Udeze's got to get rid of it quickly so that he can reset it and get it back into him.
Now, Steve, Nevada is 2 for 18 from 3, missing on 16 of its last 17 tries.
Well, that's that broadcaster's jinx in reverse. And that was a big one, too. Big shot by Lucas. He has 13.
House, nice lead for Udeze. Unnecessary dribble, got him in a pickle, and he fights through it. And whistle, timeout, New Mexico.
He was fortunate because he should never have taken that dribble. And I love that a play-by-play guy says that. He should have taken it strong. It was a beautiful pass in the lane by House. And now they're looking to see if Lucas was behind it. He was definitely behind it. The stat sheet says that he had 12, but he definitely has 13. And that was a 3.
So each team using this session that we use a New Mexico called timeout to talk things over. Each team with a couple of timeouts. Foul concern. Bonus awaits the rest of the way for both, with New Mexico at 6, Nevada at 8. Nevada had been 1 for its last 17 from 3 before Lucas was able to connect.
Another game inside the game. We always talk about the 4-minute war. 4:34 to go in this game. It's been an up and down affair. You know, I think that Nevada's got to continue to look at Baker and House and Mashburn Jr. They've got to take the heavy burden for the Lobos.
Udeze now at 998 points. He had a long chat with lead assistant Isaac Chu, who had the scout for this game. Seemed like Udeze was upset not getting foul calls, and Chu was pretty blunt, saying, let's go, focus, control what you can control.
That's exactly what the assistant coaches should do. I mean, take him and get him in control, because Udeze is one of those guys that has to touch the ball, and he has to be an integral part of this offense.
Lucas off the up fake. Williams 3 to shoot. Williams gets the shot off, and he hits it.
Well, that time Lucas was moving over. It looked like Williams was going to throw him the ball. He just looked over there. The defense shifted. He had an easy left-hand layup.
And nice no-look. Tipped by Williams. 3-on-1. Bounce to Blackshear. And he gives it away. House 3-on-1. House behind
Well, Nevada had the numbers. They had a 3-on-1 fast break. Williams really couldn't get control of it. But how about House taking it to the house? We got a ball game here, tied at 70.
All, 3:39 left. Two of the best in the Mountain West in front of a crowd of over 8,000, the biggest crowd this building has seen since November of 2019 when USC came to town. What was the dialogue in the respective huddles? What are we looking for down the stretch as Mashburn will shoot free throws?
Well, I think when you look at New Mexico Lobos, they're older. They know what's going on. They have two studs in the backcourt. Do what you do. We don't need threes. We need to play solid offense. For Nevada, get the ball when they miss, get it out and run. Try to beat the defense down there, and Baker sprint the recover so you can get that easy two.
Mashburn perfect at the line, a team high 23. Make it 24. Nevada has not led since it was 63-61 at the 8:02 mark. And you can see a little bit of fatigue, I think, on the part of these players.
A lot of physicality in this game.
Lucas stumbles, contact from House. That'll be his second. It's bonus both teams.
But you see what they're doing. They're trying to get the ball into the paint. Both teams, at the end of the game, you may have an open three, take it. But if you don't, move the ball around and try to get something out of the flow of the offense.
Now, if there's one man you don't want to foul for the first of the one-and-ones, it's Lucas, who led the Pac-12 in free throw shooting in back-to-back years. A career 87% shooter.
He's got a perfect stroke. I mean, very calm and confident, deep knee bends and follow through it with a lot of arch.
Lucas, one of three in double figures for the Wolfpack. He's got 14. We haven't seen much in the way of pressure on either side.
Crowd getting into it. You got 3 point guards basically in the game right now for New Mexico.
Is this a different defense?
They're absolutely playing a little zone.
And House misses.
Good defense.
Blackshear. Williams. Nevada leads.
House is talking to the official on the way down. That was really good defense by Williams on House. Didn't get the call. And they're back in the one. It looks like a 1-3-1 defense.
Mashburn, baseline J, swish.
Imagine that.
That's a season high 26 tonight.
Tell you what, he's inside the three-point line. Most of the guards that are good in this country have a great three ball, and they rely on a lot. Mashburn plays inside the three-point line for most of the game, and he is the best at that trade. Middle of the court, he is good.
Baker was wide open. Lucas didn't see him. Bounces to Williams, who's been integral of late. Aggressive push off Lucas. Miss. Udeze saves it.
I tell you, that looked like an offensive foul by Lucas. And I thought maybe they would have called that, but they almost called a flop on House, and I don't think it would have been the case.
Double screen Dent. Under 2 minutes. Alex been quiet. Handoff interrupted. Blackshear foul. That's going to be his 4th foul with 1:48 to go.
Well, that's a tough call. And I see where there was body contact, but that is a whale of a play. You see the arm grab, I think, in the beginning, but Blackshear just went over top of the pick. That was a 50-50 ball, but that's excellent play by Blackshear, though.
Double bonus. Another make for Mashburn. So do you leave him in with 4 fouls with 1:48 to go?
You know what? I think they do. They could go offense and defense, but right now it's no big deal because they're going to go on offense. He's not going to get the foul down there probably. And you need a point guard to bring it up. He is their point guard.
Mashburn has surpassed Baker, game high 28. Hard screen, Baker, Blackshear double, corner, Williams! And an out. Blackshear tipped it, controlled by Mashburn.
How about Allen? you know, when you look at his stats, rebounds, whatever, he has had more tip outs to save possessions for the Lobos. And now you do not need a three.
Are they bleeding a little bit of clock here?
Yeah, I think they're definitely bleeding clock, but you got to get a good shot. You just don't want to have an empty possession. You only have 2.
7 to shoot. House loses handle. Taken away by Blackshear. Foul on House. That's going to be his 3rd. Free throws other end.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. It's one thing to lose possession and have a turnover, then you compound it with a foul, and it stops the clock. And now Nevada has a chance to tie the game with the clock stopped.
So it is still 1-and-1 bonus. Blackshear to the line. He has been wincing at times tonight. Limped significantly in the earlier stage of the game. He's a top 10 free throw shooter in the league at 81%. Converts.
I'm sorry. I think it's so important right now, as Rich Pitino's calling a timeout, is to realize how to play with a lead. And House has had a special night. He's played very, very good. You look at his numbers. He's got 15 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers. But one of the things you got to look at with him is at the end of the game, you cannot be out of control. And he's made so many good decisions and knocked down so many big shots. But at the end of the game, he's got to take over as the guard that's going to run the show. It's a good look at House right there. And Mashburn, arguably one of the best combo guard set in the country.
A 1-point game, 1:13 left. It is double bonus in New Mexico's favor down the stretch. Still single bonus would remain with 1 additional foul. Only 1 timeout for the Lobos, though, as Richard Pitino just called his penultimate timeout, 2 for the Wolfpack.
Well, it's going to come down. We talked about it. Unbelievably, it is going to come down to free throws. They haven't been to the free throw line as much as they usually are per game. But with minute 13, whoever makes their free throws has a good chance of winning this game.
Well, Blackshear ties it. Lucas subs out. They're going to bring in Foster for defense. Remember, Foster was the primary defender on Mashburn when Coleman subbed out with foul trouble in the opening minutes.
Well, now Rich Pitino is having Dent bring the ball up, putting House on the wing. There are 3 point guards now in the game. And I think what you do is you got to get the ball to Mashburn, but they're denying him the ball.
1 minute. Dent lost handle. Williams has it. And timeout. Steve Alford. He wants to talk it over. Deadlocked at 76.
Now, the reason why this happened, it was good play coming in the lane by Blackshear, but there was a double team. They're guarding House, and they're face guarding House and face guarding Mashburn, not allowing them to get any touches on the ball in the last 2 possessions.
What have we seen from Keenan Blackshear?
Well, not only his points. I mean, his points have been great. He's only got 1 rebound, but, you know, he's got 4 steals. He's played super defense, and he's taken what the defense gives him inside. He's been able to get easy shots in the painted area, but I think his productivity has been more on the defensive end than on the offensive end.
Individual foul concern, there's only 1 as of now. Blackshear himself, who plays with 4 fouls. A tie game with 52.2 to go. Remember, both teams get to the line a ton. Among the highest rates of getting to the line in college basketball. But there's a major run. Nevada's one of the best at making free throws. New Mexico toils.
And it's so important that New Mexico doesn't put them on the free throw line. What Nevada's going to do coming out of the gate is I'm thinking Lucas will be back in the game. He was on the bench at the last timeout. They'll put him back in the game and maybe do a 2-man game with Baker down the low block. Whether it's Williams or Lucas on the perimeter, look for the big guy Baker down low.
Arrow to the Lobos. Each team with 1 timeout. Baker, brilliant at the start, has had a sensational game. But there's a stretch where he came off looking a little tired. It's an 8-man rotation for Nevada, and this has been an up-and-down physical grind.
He's been running the break, and real, there's nobody on Nevada's team that's out on the court that shoots under 75% from the free throw line. So that's exactly what you want if you're your coaching staff.
They spread the floor. Blackshear isolated against Ashburn. Alec lying in wait to help. Falling away baseline. 8-second differential.
Using a size advantage of Blackshear, just backing down Mashburn Jr.
Dent with the ball in his hands. Ashburn against Coleman. Falling away. Ties it.
Boy, I tell you what, he has ice water in his veins, and gets in that lane, it's just so hard to stop. I mean, you pretty much think it's going in every time as Coach Alford now gets a timeout with 13.9 seconds left to go.
Jamal Mashburn Jr. with his first career 30-point game.
Well, we talk about getting the ball inside. Doesn't matter how do you get there. You see the big size advantage for Blackshear, and then he fades away. There's no way that Mashburn Jr. could have defended that.
13.9 each huddle. What's being said?
Well, right now, I think you look at Nevada and you say, we do not want to give the Lobos a chance. So bring the ball down court, get the first open shot, get the ball inside, and make sure maybe look for Baker down low, look for Blackshear again. But what you have to do is you cannot give the Lobos another chance. There's 13 seconds left. Keep on that end of the floor. And then worst case scenario, try to get to the free throw line if you have a dribble drive.
Now keep in mind, it's Nevada entry. They're out of timeout. Sideline entry. They're not going to pressure backcourt for Blackshear.
Well, I think they do not want points in the paint for the Wolfpack.
Nevada has been horrendous from 3 on the game. 3 for 20. At one point missed 16 out of 17 from deep.
I think you live with that. You know, if they beat you with a 3 from outside, the way they're shooting the ball, just give a hand's worth of extension and don't foul the jump shooter.
Blackshear cuts. Triple team side backboard. Out of bounds. 2.6 Nevada ball. They're going to take a look. They want to get an instant replay look to see if that was grazed, who had last touch.
Well, that was really good defense by the Lobos. Come over. They had 3 guys converting over on there. See the 1, 2, 3. Looks like it was off. I think it was off all the way.
Does Blackshear get this off cleanly or have a last touch?
I think Alec.
That right hand?
Alec hit the ball off the hand and it went off the back side of the.
He's able to fight through it first.
Ooh, that's hard to tell. Just watch. I don't know if that was Alec or not. Yeah, he's got his. No, you know what? I think that actually is going to be. I think that's going to be New Mexico's ball.
If New Mexico has it, length of the floor 2.6.
That's a lot of time with these 2 guards. You know, get the ball in House's hands or Mashburn's hands and just let him go.
Vern Harris, Michael Irving are at the monitor right now. What about this angle?
See, look at Alec on the side. That's a tough
Does
angle.
that right index finger, middle finger graze the ball?
Yeah, it's hard to see. I'm glad I'm over here and not making this decision. And they didn't. Did they make a call? They made the call of Nevada's ball.
They're going to turn the clock to 3.2, and it looks like it's going to be New Mexico ball with an extra little more than half second added. So it's New Mexico ball, 3.2 in a tie game.
Well, if I'm New Mexico, I get the ball in the hands of either number 10 or number 5 and go coast to coast. There's another timeout taken now by New Mexico, I think.
So now they can talk this over. Deadlocked at 78. New Mexico has been outstanding on the road, 4-1 in true road games. The signature win snapping the long home court winning streaks of St. Mary's and San Diego State, the lone league loss for the league leading Aztecs. Can the Lobos get their first win in Nevada in 7 years, or could overtime be had here?
Another guard coming in the game now. Jenkins is in the game. They're taking the big guys out for New Mexico, and they're putting the big guys in for Nevada.
Nick Davidson went to the table. He's going to sub in. Now keep in mind, it's been a quiet night for K.J. Jenkins, who in Mountain West only play was shooting 55% from three. He's over 40 on the year. All he does is make threes. He's only had one tonight and limited time and productivity.
It's going to be interesting to see how these guards handle it. You're going to have, right now you have 3 guards, Dent's on the bench. The big fella, Udeze's down low. He's the guy that won the game against Boise State with a pass from Dent. But what they're going to do is get the ball in the hands of the guards. Either they take it all the way if somebody picks them up, get the ball over down to Udeze down low.
Neither team has a timeout. Full court, 3.2. House over the timeline, at the horn, off the iron, overtime coming in Reno.
Well, you had to know that either Mashburn Jr. or House were going to shoot. They're going to shoot that shot, but he had a good look at it. And the defensive play was fine, but he had a good look. You look over here. Foster was far enough away. That's a good look right there. John, that was...
Put 5 on the clock. Another session when we're back. Deep into the night in Reno. It's the second overtime affair for each of these teams on their respective seasons. All even at 78. New Mexico required free basketball last time out. Bested Boise State in Albuquerque by a deuce. Nevada fell in overtime to Kansas State. That was in the teeth of non-league play in mid-November. So keep in mind, team fouls and personal fouls carry over. 10 fouls in Nevada, 8 on New Mexico, still 1-1, a possibility there. And individual fouls, 4 on Blackshear. Each team gets armed with a fresh timeout.
It'll be interesting if Nevada gets Baker back into the game. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. He looked a little winded. He's had a chance to take a couple breaks with these timeouts. Will they be able to get him down the low block and get him some touches?
One to House, snaps it off, Mashburn, quick release, swish. Career high 33 points.
Right in stride. We had the sight line from where he was shooting, and you could see it as soon as it left his hands, it was going down.
Blackshear tipped by House out of bounds.
We see House, beautiful cross-court pass. It's almost like he knew he was there. They're on a string. They played very well together.
Lucas wanted it. 3 ball. Yes! That's a tough shot.
His degree of difficulty on shots is way up there. And sometimes you say, no, 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 yes. And that was one of them.
Key part of Oregon State's Elite 8 run in the 2021 tournament. Mashburn. He and Alec played a bit of a 2-man game. And a foul as he got caught up near the neck. And that's going to go on Williams. That'll be his 3rd. Keep in mind, double bonus. So now Alec to the line where he is modest. He is one of those Lobos that does not thrive there.
You see they clotheslined him when he was cutting through. That's okay when you're a receiver in the NFL, but not here in college basketball.
Connects. Alec coming off a career-high 18 rebounds against Boise State, the most by any Mountain West player this season. And you've loved the nuance he's offered on and off ball.
Well, he's so athletic, and what he's done, he only has 6 or 7 rebounds. What does he have? He has 6 rebounds, but he's had probably 4 tip-backs that have held possession for the Lobos, and that's just as important.
Lucas feeling it, bounces to Baker, can't handle, fights through, too strong. Alec wins it. And Steve Alford roars.
It was like blood in the water for the Lobos. As soon as Baker got a touch, there were 3 guys down there in the paint trying to grab the ball from him.
You can feel and see the fatigue on each side. These teams have laid it all out there tonight.
Well, and I'll tell you, I think that the Lobos are built better for that because they are guard-oriented, and most of the production's coming out of the perimeter.
Highly contested shot. Off glass miss, out of bounds. One on the timer, Lobo ball. And alertly, Blackshear extending the right index finger in the air, telling his teammates 1 second.
Well, you see it. Mashburn didn't have a good shot, so we just decided to throw it up with 3 on the shot clock. It didn't hit anything.
Udeze couldn't catch a clean shot clock violation. Wave it off.
That's a tough possession for the Lobos. You know, when there's 3 minutes and 21 seconds left to play and you have the ball and you're up by 2, you want a better possession than that.
Now they're rolling entry to conserve some of that shot clock time. Baker shaping up. Baker battling furiously in the post. Williams slithers end line. Out of bounds.
That was really good play by Udeze, playing against a smaller guy. He moves his feet. And just an unforced error by Williams, who has played a fantastic game. He's got 8 points and 12 rebounds.
Now they're subbing out Johnson, bringing on Dent. Is this just to have an extra ball handler to facilitate?
Yeah, Dent is the best passer on this team, and they've had some problems the last couple of possessions. They got to get a good possession here to keep this lead.
Eze against Baker. Everyone else on the perimeter. 10 to shoot. Mashburn. From iron, Baker board.
Good defense. Really good defense by Coleman in there helping out.
Blackshear couldn't shake Mashburn.
Well, I think this is a shot right here because he's going to back Mashburn in and then just do that fadeaway jumper, but he passes out of that double team.
Zigzags into the paint. Williams quick release. Miss. Udeze rips it down.
That's 2 back-to-back great plays by Udeze because Baker was right there for the stick back.
Can the Lobos make it a 2-possession game with just over 2 minutes to go in overtime? Dent. Baker.
Well, that's why he's put in the game. What a smart play. I thought he might look at Udeze, but Udeze was stuck up in traffic with Baker. Dent took it right to the basket.
Blackshear picks up the pound. Lucas has been ultra aggressive, blocking foul on House. That'll be his 4th.
And when you put Dent in the game, we talk about he's a heady player. He gets around Lucas and gets up and meets Williams and just hangs in the air. Beautiful drive, and then you see the foul on House. And what essentially the Lobos have done here in this overtime is they have Alec guarding Blackshear. So Blackshear can't use that height advantage against the 3 guards that are out there for New Mexico.
Lucas, the last of the 1-and-1s, connects. Steve Alford looking at his top assistant, his friend since 3rd grade, Craig Neal. Each man was the head coach at New Mexico. Back in. A 3rd miss on the night for the 3rd best free throw shooter in the Mountain West.
That's a big one. That would have cut it to 2. It's still a 1-possession game, but this bucket is really important for the Lobos.
You can feel them bleeding the clock a bit. 9 to shoot. House. 5 to shoot. Sharp fake. Good bounce. Udeze! 1,000 points and 1 on an explosive reverse.
And that pass was a beautiful and unselfish pass by House, which gives him a double-double on this evening. House with 15 points and 10 assists. None bigger than this one to Udeze down low. And that was a great catch and finish by the big fella, who has not really been featured much in this game.
Most free throw attempts in the Mountain West belong to Udeze himself, but he shoots at 63%. Hits the iron, tapped loose, controlled by the Lobos. Johnson wins it. Timeout called by New Mexico with 1:07 to go, and now a 5-point game.
I never thought that an ugly free throw shooting center would have been an important thing for New Mexico. That shot was so bad that everybody was surprised, and Nevada wasn't able to gather the rebound.
And by the way, mentioned it on the bucket, but congratulations to Morris Udeze. That last score in the front end of the N1 try put him at 1,000 points in his career. He spoke in a podcast this week with the Albuquerque Journal saying, I didn't expect my numbers to be as good as they are. I knew I was going to be a great rebounder, but scoring has gone up. He called it a blessing.
Well, that shot, that free throw, as you saw in that last replay, was barely hit the front of the rim. And I think that when you're boxing out, you're not looking for that short shot like that. I think the Lobo players knew a little bit better about how Udeze shoots the free throws, so they were ready.
Now the arrow favors Nevada, but Lobos have the ball and a 5-point lead. Nevada has the lone timeout. The fouls at this point are moot because it's double bonus both teams rest of the way.
I will tell you this, Nevada has a firepower that a minute 7 is nothing. You got a 5-point lead. Remember, you don't need to go down and shoot a 3. And I think that's the key. Get the best possible shot. Work some offense. You got lots of time. You know, but the problem is that sometimes there's full court pressure. You get in the front court, you think you got to spot up and shoot the jump shot. You don't.
Nevada is seeking its first top 25 win since December of 2018, when they themselves were top 10 and bested a 20th ranked Arizona State team. New Mexico's off to its best start in 45 years. It was the 77-78 squad under Norm Ellenberger that began 21-2. Only one of these teams will remain in a tie for second place in the league after tonight. 5-second violation on entry out of a cold timeout.
That's great defense by the Wolfpack. Face guarding. There was not a man on the passer. Couldn't get it in bounds.
And it seems this has been an offense-defense switch. Johnson in, Dent out.
Now you see House. You see Blackshear on him, but he's off the ball, and then he doubles up and makes it really hard for House to get that ball in.
Coleman with purpose. Williams, free ball!
And now it's so important for the Lobos to get a good shot. You don't need a 3 either way. If you get a 2, it's 2 possessions. If you get a 3, it's a 2-possession game.
10 seconds, they run the play. On a switch, Baker has House, help from Blackshear. Johnson, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Shot clock violation! On back-to-back looks, a 5-second violation and a shot clock violation. Timer off, Wolfpack ball.
Those are kind of the mistakes you cannot make. And you see beautiful pass by Coleman as he takes it into the heart of the defense. Williams, who's a very good 3-point shooter, nobody was out there. He was able to cut the lead to 2.
What's the best look here?
I think that's what you get, the best look. You got Baker inside, you got Lucas on the perimeter, you got Williams who can shoot, you got Blackshear who can get inside. And they're gonna now probably check and see if
looking at the
time
game
clock, the game clock.
Yep, they're gonna go to 30 seconds. Instead of 29.6, it goes to a full 30. And they are going to send Johnson up to provide some pressure in the backcourt. Rolled entry. It begins now with Blackshear. They get it across, call timeout. And what's on the horizon for these respective squads? For the Wolfpack, they'll be at UNLV, a game you could see on CBS Sports Network. San Diego State Also here on the network, Air Force. Then we'll go to the pit where you mentioned Steve Alford is 6-0 with Nevada against New Mexico. He's only once had to bring a team to the pit.
I'll tell you, and I'm not sure how happy they're going to be to see him. But now you got a New Mexico team that's relevant. It was relevant when he left. Now it's relevant again. But it's going to be interesting. You see New Mexico's schedule to play Air Force and then Utah State. And then once again, Nevada. That's going to be a heck of a game.
This league is so deep, so competitive. San Diego State, deservedly so, is still in that premier spot, but they have more challengers than they've had in a while.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a fun conference tournament. I'll tell you that, because there's a lot of relevant games going to be played. And right now, last year they got 4 teams in. You know, very, very easily you could get 4 teams in this year.
Neither team has a timeout. 27.8. Blackshear to trigger. Coleman. Baker, 3-quarter. Blackshear to tie. Got it!
Well, they left some chicken on the bone because there's still 15 seconds left. But I'll tell you, they can't get the ball in.
House has it. Sprints over. 10 seconds. Mashburn, a career night. Mashburn, jump ball, 2.5, it's Nevada ball with the arrow.
Nevada does not have a timeout. You see the drive in the lane, and once again, the guy, Johnny on the spot, is Blackshear. He's had a couple jump balls. He's been had a lot of hustle plays here this evening.
Double bonus, both teams, 2.5, length of the floor. They're going to go take a look.
This is a break for Nevada because they're going to look at how much time's left on the clock. So this gives Steve Alford, who doesn't have a timeout, a chance to go over and set up a play and what he wants out of this team.
Blackshear's been at the center of this roar late. 20 points in 39 minutes of play, 4 assists, 5 steals. But Jared Lucas has arguably been the most aggressive shooter of the bunch.
Take a look at the clock. You can see it up top. It's hard to tell. Game clock. I think they're going to probably keep it 2.7.
So they add a 1/10 of a second. Length of the floor.
So if you're Nevada, you got time, all right? But you gotta hurry it up into the front court. If you're New Mexico, you do not want to foul. So in the back court, you might want to trap, but you do not want to foul, and you do not want to break out.
Alec fronts. Darian Williams. Bounces it into Lucas. Midcourt heave. Off iron. Double overtime.
Boy, he had enough. He had enough time to get to the next, another couple steps, but I'll tell you, that was so close. Steve Alford came out off the bench and is just cheering on his team. That was so close. Another step and that thing would have gone down.
More free basketball. Double overtime in moments. Tied at 87, a tight one as we go to double overtime. And the Lobos, no strangers to some taut contests. These are the games decided by 5 points or less. The big-time win at St. Mary's, taking down a good San Francisco team. Wyoming squad that figured to be a power in the Mountain West if EK were healthy. It's the first double overtime game for New Mexico since November of 2013. That's when they took down UAB 97-93. What's the concern for each team? These are Division I athletes but this is a lot.
Well, it is, but I think there's so much adrenaline. These are some of the best athletes in the country. I mean, basketball was very tough, and right now, they're not thinking that. They're thinking, hey, Nevada gets the chance to upset the top-rated team.
House loses it. Playground save, Udeze, bucket. What a save by Jamonte Johnson, and House took hard harm.
There's a lot of 1-2 out here right now. Both of these teams fighting. Nevada wants to keep their home streak alive.
Nice backdoor cut by Lucas. Blackshear tried to lead him. Williams, the defense on legs.
How about Williams? He has really come up in the second half. Very good job, obviously rebounding with 13 points on 5-14 from the field. He's got 12 rebounds.
Keep in mind, House and Blackshear each play with 4 fouls. Udeze, double comes. He picks it up. Wrap around Alec, who's fouled, and Blackshear is fouled out.
Boy,
they lose their point guard.
Now you see the hustle play. Johnson getting at the House. That's very heads-up basketball. But more importantly, Blackshear, who has been a key in this game for the Wolfpack, is going out. He had the game-tying shot in regulation. Blackshear with 20 points, 5 steals and 4 assists. That's a full game.
Alec at the line, double bonus, shooting 2. Misses. How will Nevada handle things down the stretch? Hunter McIntosh had figured to be their point guard, but suffered a knee injury and is lost likely for the year. Another miss. Rebound to Nevada. Won by Baker.
Right now, we have Foster bringing the ball up court. He's going to be your point guard. Lucas is going to play off of him. Baker really hasn't done much in the overtimes.
Coleman to Baker. And help D. Johnson picks his pocket.
Another steal for the Lobos.
This is a Nevada team that protects the ball about as well as anyone. House bounces to Udeze. Hand in his face, House. See that deep breath, lost handle, down the lane, out of bounds.
Well, New Mexico Lobos are really struggling taking care of the ball in the overtimes. House with another turnover right now. That's 19 for the Lobos.
By contrast, just 9 for the Wolfpack, who lead the Mountain West just outside the top 15 of the country for fewest turnovers per game, a little over 10.5.
Well, realize that the Lobos had a 5-point lead in the first overtime and had 2 straight turnovers to give Nevada a chance to get back in it.
Lucas bumped, fouled.
Johnson, it's his second. See, Lucas dribble drive. It's a very physical game, but that's a better foul for Johnson than it would be for Mashburn.
Now Lucas, who needed a moment to gather himself, he has missed 3 times at the line tonight, a rarity for a young man who's a career 87% free throw shooter and had led the Pac-12 in free throw shooting in back-to-back seasons. Denton, Johnson out for New Mexico.
You can see Steve Alford. Hey, know who you're playing. If you're playing Dent, if you're playing Mashburn or House, they're drivers. Get in front of them. Don't let them get to the rim.
Converts. Nevada by a deuce.
Lucas imploring the crowd to get into it, and they are doing just that.
Fouled. Williams trying to rip it away. He'll pick up his 4th.
You see Odeze, he gets around Baker. He was going straight to the basket. That's a good foul by Williams. especially because Odeze's not a great free throw shooter.
That's part of why it's a bit surprising. Jamal Mashburn hasn't had a ton of touches these last few possessions.
It's been House has had the ball in his hands. House and Den have had the ball in their hands, but they're doing a good job, Nevada is, of denying the ball to Mashburn Jr. Face guarding him and keeping him out of the rotation of the offense.
Odeze at the line. That's a third New Mexico miss in the second overtime at the charity stripe. Odeze cans it, 1-point game.
He's got that side spin. It's really hard to see how that's even going to go in the basket the way he shoots it, but that was a big free throw for the Lobos.
Lucas bounces to Will Baker. Lead on the wing for Williams. Now it feels like Nevada up a point, a little more purposeful. Lucas in a tough spot, puts it up, misses. Williams tips it. Dent collects. Sprint to the other end. Hard rejection by Coleman.
That was off the leg, I think, of Dent, too. I think that's going to be Nevada's ball.
Coleman believes the same.
He did. He blocked it off his leg, and it's going to be Nevada ball.
It is. Vern Harris just came in and spoke with Michael Irving.
You talk about doing the dirty work. Watch here. Beautiful play by Coleman coming over. You can't see it because it's camouflaged. But watch this, and it goes right off the leg of Dent.
Foster running point with Blackshear fouled out. Mashburn foul. And it's going to be Lucas again. That's going to be 3 on Mashburn. So double bonus, and if this is a free throw shooting contest down the stretch between essentially Lucas and the worst free throw shooters for New Mexico, Nevada's going to win by 3 possessions.
Well, the more shots that Lucas shoots, and he was 1 point time, he was 3 for 5, and now he's 7 for 10. He's back up there, getting close to his 84% free throw shooting average. Even with this make, though, it's a 1-possession game. You know, the Lobos got to get back down quick. They got to take care of the basketball. Try to get the ball in the hands of Mashburn Jr.
Mashburn had 30, a career high at the end of regulation. He has scored 3 points in 1.5 overtime since.
They got Coleman on him, and he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's pretty darn quick, and he's a great defensive player.
Now he's against Lucas.
See the hand up in his face.
Long 2. Untrue, tip ball. Nevada wins it.
Well, now it's so important for Nevada to realize you have to play with the lead. They're putting Williams at the point. Blackshear, their point guard, is out. You have to have good ball movement and have a good possession, ending with a shot of some kind. You just don't want to turn it over.
7 to shoot, Lucas. 4 to shoot, Coleman. A prayer 3. Odeze's got it, hammered and fouled.
And so it wasn't a terrible possession. They did get a shot, but then you cannot give the Lobos a chance to shoot free throws with the clock stop.
Darian Williams is fouled out. Both he and Foster pinballed off him, but Williams got the whistle. And you can see Richard Pitino looks like he's asking for a flop. With Williams fouled out, here comes Nick Davidson, the freshman, who in his minutes tonight has made major impact himself.
Right now, with the 2 important players, role players on this team that played a great game, Blackshear and Williams, you got Band-Aids on the Nevada sidelines. They just got to see if they can hold on to this 3-point lead.
Odeze connects on the free throw. Nevada has not had a win over a ranked team when Nevada was unranked in the regular season since beating Kansas in December of 2003. That year, they also beat a ranked Gonzaga team in the NCAAA tournament. Odeze hits them both.
Those are huge free throws.
1 point affair.
And if you're Nevada, you don't need to get a 3, get the best shot available. Look at Baker down low. He's being guarded on the low block by Alec.
Baker bumped and fouled by Alec. That'll be his second.
The problem with what Alec's got to do and these guys when they're playing Baker, look how close to the basket Baker is. He's in the restricted area. He's right there. He's 1 foot in the restricted area. You cannot allow him to get the ball there. You got to somehow either topside him or push him out of the low block.
Now Baker, his first free throw attempt of the night, he's been so efficient from the field. Last year he was a 68% shooter. This year he's an 86% shooter, second best in the Mountain West. And he misses.
I'll tell you, you hit the nail on the head towards the end of regulation. I think he has gotten a little bit tired. You know, this is a highly competitive, intense game. That's emotions. Plus, he's been running a lot. His left arm's got to be tired from scoring all those points in the first half.
It's 1 of 2. Lobos down to deuce, 51.5. House off the bounce, fouled by Foster. And House is not a man you want to foul. He's going to shoot 2, double bonus.
Well, with this makeshift lineup right now with the 2 guys that have fouled out, you want to let them run clock. And back-to-back times now, the Lobos haven't had to. Getting to the free throw line.
Foul to Foster is third. House, top 5 in the Mountain West, hits the first. He has the second most free throw attempts in the Mountain West. Udeze gets to the line the most. House number 2. But he's far more efficient. And he hits them both. Tie game. Here's the same defense-offense switch we have seen Johnson indent out.
Get a little bit
timeout.
Get a little more height with Johnson in the game. That's a little bit smaller.
So why call this timeout here, 44.2?
Well, I think you can do a lot of things in 44 seconds. So he's going to set up what we're going to do on offense, what we're going to do on defense, and what happens toward the end of the game. They have no more timeouts left. So this timeout is going to be pivotal for them to set up the last 44.2 seconds.
And keep in mind that Nevada is playing at this point without a true point guard. As it was, Keenan Blackshear only converted to point over the course of the summer. While he had assist numbers on his career, he's truly a forward that has passing ability. He is fouled out.
Well, I think Williams has been a great defensive player and a rebounding machine. But I think they miss Blackshear. Number 1, to your point, he's a point guard. Number 2, he is a really good defensive player and a bigger height. But he's also, the third thing is, he's been able to score in important times when Lucas wasn't, you know, as hot as he is now, and the same with Baker. So he's been a scoring option. He left the game with 20 points.
Well, Daniel Foster, who's suffered an injury-riddled career, at times was running point. They're going to roll the entry here to Jared Lucas. Lucas has lived at the line and converted largely in this extra overtime. Came to a stop in a tough spot. Lucas. Alec hung with him.
Well, Alec is on him.
Banker miss. Loose ball tipped. Udeze rips it clean. Timer off, 20 seconds. Crowd wanted a call, won't get it. And we'll get a timeout.
Well, they weren't calling anything down there, so it's a physical game. And Udeze was swinging his elbows a little bit. They could have called him for a flagrant, but watch, he gets the ball here, and there's guys grabbing on him. That right there, boy, I tell you what, they might want to look at that one.
Well, they are. Vern Harris is over at the table. Michael Irving has come up alongside, and they are looking almost assuredly at that play.
Yeah, that was not a basketball play, and I have a feeling they're gonna make a call here on that. That's not a basketball foul.
16.3 seconds, 94 all. Each team is now exhausted its timeouts.
Well, watch Foster with that elbow.
And they just showed the replay of the big board. You can hear the crowd groan in reaction. And the multiple fans making a cross X sign for an intentional foul.
Well, you know,
that flagrant?
It would be very sad if that's the way this game played out, because both of these teams have just left it all on the court. It's been a good, clean, physical game. It's a great representation of Mountain West basketball.
So here's the huddle from the officials. 16.3 as it stands. New Mexico ball out of a called timeout.
You hate to see it, but I feel like they're going to call it.
So the huddle breaks. They journey to the respective coaches. Oh, and Richard Pitino is not happy. He's being restrained by his coaches. Vern Harris is staring at Pitino, who has to be spun around by his coaches. He himself could get teed up here.
But when you watch the replay, John, I mean, as much as I hate it, it's the right call.
And now Richard Pitino speaking with Harris. Longtime veteran. This entire crew has worked second weekends, multiple Final Fours. Udeze lift up that left elbow as Foster was on his left shoulder, and he seemed to do it twice. You could hear the reaction from the crowd here. We've not yet heard an official announcement.
You can see Richard Pitino saying, unbelievable that you're calling it at this time. But, you know, to me, it was clear, and it's unfortunate, but to watch the left arm, and then I think the left arm was one, but then the push was the second. I think that was the icing on the cake. Well, so it's important right now. You know, the play's been called. What are you going to do?
Good word here, Michael Irving coming over.
Flagrant personal foul on the red. 2 shots for the offended player of Reno, and Reno gets it.
So it is a flagrant one. That means 2 shots and the ball. So Nevada can take the lead at the line and will have possession timer turned off.
So I think it's important right now as you look at New Mexico's huddle. What are you guys going to do? Hey, if you just plan on them making both of them, and then you probably need to foul. You know, it's just like you're down by 2. The shot clock is off. So
now it's Foster at the line, who last year was a 75% shooter. He has only attempted 4 free throws all season, missing 3. He is shooting 2. And he misses the first. Now keep in mind, Nevada also gets the ball after this.
So, but he makes this. It's still a 1-possession game. If you foul Nevada quickly, they get 2 free throws. You got a chance to tie the game.
So with that in mind, is that what you would do depending upon the catch?
And I think right now it's so important that New Mexico forgets about that play and keeps in the game right now. You know, and you might want to foul, you know, Foster again.
Coleman to trigger. Shoots it into Baker, 16 seconds. He's hit and fouled, so they do give the foul from Alec. And that's going to send Baker an 86% shooter to the line. But to your point, he hits them both still a one-possession
game. And I think what you have to do, this is when it's so important to have smart guys on the court. New Mexico's got to understand. Can't do anything about that play. Let's do something about this one. Now, with 15 seconds left, you got lots of time to get down there and spot up for a 3. Neither team has a timeout left.
Baker hits. There was long dialogue between House, Dent, and Pitino during these free throws.
Well, that's Rich Pitino made his point with the referees, and then he made coaching decisions to talk to these guys and let them know what he expects out of them.
Alec, who had picked up his 3rd subs out, they bring in the shooter, KJ Jacobs. Deep breath from Baker, who missed on his last journey to the line. He hits. 3-point game, length of the floor, 14.9.
And do they get the shot up quick? Do you foul them if you're in Nevada? Usually you don't do it. if you're have more than 5 seconds.
House pounded. Up fake. 5 seconds. House prayer. Miss. Nevada ball. In double overtime. Nevada has its first top 25 win since 2018. This year's Mountain West, New Mexico was once again anointed a top 25 team today. Tonight, the Lobos lose.
Well, I think they're still a top 25 team. This is a New Mexico team that has all the elements. But they were just out-physical tonight by the Wolfpack of Nevada. And now you look at the standings. Nevada in second place behind San Diego State now. They're able to hold serve.
They've drawn even in the wins column. Nevada now 10-0 in this building. The wins had been by an average of 15+ points per until tonight's tight game that saw intense physicality and ultimately a flagrant foul that was a major factor in the decision.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that go into this double overtimes. You're losing 2 of your better players to fouls in Williams and Blackshear and still able to hold on. And free throws were the difference.
97-94, a fatiguing slugfest. Back and forth they went, and the host Wolfpack prevail. That's going to wrap things up for Steve Wolf and our entire CBS crew. I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Your final in Reno, Nevada, 97, New Mexico, 94 in double overtime.